I saw a girl in here just the other day saying that she lost 70 pounds in 4 months. And it seemed like she was going to try to just keep it cute and be like, hey, 10,000 steps a day, calorie deficit, get your protein in. But people were begging her, like, I beg of you, what medication did you take? Were you under doctor's care? What did you do? And so she made a video and she was like, hi, I'm not a doctor. I'm not an expert on calculating calorie deficit, but here's what I did. And she proceeded to tell her audience that she ate 1,000 calories a day. And I feel like she kind of corrected herself because she was like, oh, I did 1,000 to 1,500 calories, but everyone's calorie deficit is different. But my doctor says I'm fine. All my results are good. All my tests are good. My doctor says I'm fine. I'm basically just making this video to say, please do not eat 1,000 calories a day. The only time you can possibly do that is if you're under the kind of doctor's care that has you either going into the hospital multiple times a week or you are staying at a facility. 1,000 calories is absolutely wild. And I'm just like, how did we get here? I feel like people don't want a simple solution for weight loss where you have to just follow simple patterns and it's going to take time. They want something that is wild, crazy, and is going to get them fast results. If you do your research on weight loss, it is not recommended to lose more than 1 to 2 pounds per week. I think you could safely maybe lose a little bit more, but 70 pounds is already a lot. And now we know the reason. It's because she went so low on her calorie deficit. Just as an example of how wild that is, if you've ever used MyFitnessPal, I'm sure most people are familiar with MyFitnessPal. If you enter your calories and those calories are less than 1,000 and you go to complete your diary, MyFitnessPal won't even tell you what your weight will be in 5 weeks because they do not want to contribute to disordered eating. Just feel like diet culture has these trends and we are back at this place where basically the Kate Moss era where people just don't really care how they get there as long as they get skinny. That's literally all they care about. And honestly, I think a calorie deficit is good, but you need to go in and use that TDEE calculator. Use that. Be honest about what your daily activity really is. Be honest about your height. Be honest about what your goal weight is and use that. And then, of course, consult with your doctor. Of course, get blood tests run. And as you're losing weight, go back and get those updated. But please don't just listen to a person that lost a bunch of weight who is insisting, hey guys, I'm not a medical professional, I'm not a health coach, this is just what I did. That is just what she did, and I would not recommend it. Another thing I want you to look out for is red flags. If you are a woman and you are looking at women who are sharing like what I eat in a day videos and they are starting the day on an empty stomach and having a cup of coffee, like caffeine, I feel like that's a red flag because there are so many studies that talk about how much better off we are with food in our system before we ingest caffeine. And so it shouldn't just be about weight loss. We should always be seeking to have balanced hormones because the hormones in our bodies regulate everything, everything. And I think sometimes I get why people want to follow the person who got the wildest results because slow and steady, although it wins, it's frustrating. And as a woman, as our hormones fluctuate throughout the month, it can be frustrating to like be excited to lose 3 pounds and then get your period or be a day before your period and gain those 3 pounds back. I get it. I know it's frustrating. But if you take it slow and steady, and that's how you get to your goal weight, that is going to help you maintain when you get there. I think having unhealthy habits to get to a goal is not good because then once you get to the goal, you may fall off. Now, that's not to say that you're not going to have to do some things that are maybe much different from your current habits to get somewhere else. So maybe it means you're waking up a little bit earlier or you're driving to the gym after work instead of straight home. They might be different from your habits, but you should not be doing things to lose weight that is not sustainable or puts your health at risk, especially like your major organs. And another thing, I think that on this journey, there should be a mixture of whole real foods and the reality that many of us live busy lives and just don't have time to cook all the time. So I don't think our whole diet should be just like we're just a walking protein bar, but at the same time it's not really reasonable to like cook 3 meals and make 2 snacks per day. There should be like a balance. And I see some creators where it's just like what I eat in a day, and it's just all opening packages, just a bunch of packages from pre-workout to protein powder to protein bars to adding powdered protein broth to adding collagen. Like all of it is just package, package, package. Maybe not the best thing. But again, I also understand some people have a little more freedom with their time, and so they're able to prep ahead. They may have more room in their fridge to prep. I just feel like it should be a balance, and I did not want to stitch that creator because I have no desire to call her out. I feel like people dragged that information out of her, but I think we need to get to a point where we recognize disordered eating and not just call that like, oh, that's just me eating in a calorie deficit. No, that's really not healthy, and protein shouldn't be our only goal. Colon cancer is on the rise. I think focusing on other things like focusing on fiber is really good. I also think cutting out carbs isn't the answer for everybody. I have personally hit my goals and maintained my goals while still eating carbohydrates. I have a few hacks and a few tricks that I do, but I will never cut out carbs. Is it important to count them? Sure, absolutely. Counting and looking at your macros is a fantastic thing to do, but I do not recommend just for everybody that everybody needs to be keto or everybody needs to be on the caveman diet. Like, you really do need to do what works best for you and what is sustainable. And honestly, I know that food is fuel, but there's so much culture around food and celebration, and food should taste good, and you shouldn't have to feel alienated when you go out to eat or different things like that, or feeling like, look, I'm in weight loss mode, I'm just not going anywhere. Sometimes it's good to get out, and it's also a good test of, do I make the right choices that still kind of support my journey? So if you see that video, I guess there's something to be learned from everything, but I don't think you should copy that. And I don't think that anybody should be losing that amount of weight in that short of a time, especially, again, if they're not at like a weight loss facility or having like really, really, really frequent check-ins with their doctor to make sure that their heart and other major organs are healthy. I'm done yapping. Bye.